Good afternoon. It's Brenda Meller with Meller Marketing, back for another edition of Social Media Pie, and very excited. I have another special guest with me here today. I'm bringing online with me Aaron Stone. He's a fellow Troy Chamber member. Hey, Aaron, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Doing really, really well. We were just kind of chatting in the pre-call prep here, you guys, and Aaron and I were saying, we've got family members and pets at home with us and whatnot, and I encouraged Aaron, if there's an opportunity for a cameo appearance by either his pet and or daughter, to bring her on. But yes. We're in a day and age right now, Aaron, of, everybody is working from home and we're doing the best we can to juggle the demands of the job and career and networking and live videos and things like these.
Never know.
What happens. So we do the best we can. So how's your day going so far, Aaron?
So far, not so bad. I mean, it's a Friday. We're coming up on lunch here. I honestly, I had thought about this yesterday of actually getting a pie, but I'm having it because it's Friday. Treat yourself a little bit. It's lunch, sit back and relax and have some. But given the situation, I'm not just going to run out and grab a pie. So unfortunately, I don't have that. But still, maybe later today, I'll treat myself to maybe a cold beverage or something.
There you go. Ice cream. Happy hour, if you will, right?
Yes.
I have a monthly job seeker call that I lead. It's a Zoom call, and last night I was feeling very festive, and I told my husband, I'm like, maybe I'm going to go on tomorrow morning with like a Bloody Mary, like with the celery sauce and everything coming in, and I'm like, nah. I said, you got to be careful. Religion, politics, and even alcohol. You got to be careful knowing your audience. There may be people who are in AA or who have history or family members or whatnot, and that might be a sensitive subject, but if you're in a Troy Chamber group and it says happy hour, right?
Yes, it is for that purpose. Yeah. So, and I missed the last one that Troy had. I was one of the winners on the first, the Cinco de Mayo happy hour event. I won a gift certificate. And so, but I missed the last one. I got a little busy and dang it, I don't know if you were there or not. And I need to know who won now.
I don't know if I was on that one. I thought it was going to be Chuck Virtualoni, if I'm not pronouncing it correctly. He'll tell me. Because I was like, he just seems like the trivia buff. But I don't know. Those are fun. And I love happy hours. I'm going to be on a happy hour Zoom call later on today. I will have an adult beverage, but right now I've got my coffee. I don't know about you.
Yeah.
Coffee goes. I'm actually drinking the coffee from Sugar Creek that gave me the mug, too, and the coffee is delicious. So
there you go. Little plug.
There you go. All right. So, Aaron, let's assume folks that are watching here aren't familiar with you. I'm going to turn the video over to you in just a second. Before I do so, guys, I want to show you the little ticker running below. Please comment below. Let us know where in the world you're watching from. Aaron and I are both in Metro Detroit. I'm in Fraser, Michigan, which is Macomb County. Aaron, where are you located at?
I am in Royal Oak.
Royal Oak. Okay, so you're not too far away. You're in Oakland County. So let us know where in the world you're watching from, or where in the house you're watching us from. Are you in your kitchen? Are you in your dining room? Are you in your living room? We're not going too far from home these days, but with Google, we can get our businesses even further. And nice segue to Aaron. Why don't you tell us a little bit about who you are, what your business is all about, and then we'll get into this conversation about why didn't Google choose me? We'll get into that.
Awesome. Yeah. So I work for a company called Rev Local, and we are a national leader in online, your online marketing. And in particular, we are a Google Premier Partner. So that's why I made my topic focused on Google, because that's where it kind of all starts there, right? Everybody nowadays understands and knows the term Google it for a reason, because well, especially when you're stuck in your home like we all are, the first thing you want to do is probably pick up your phone and ask your phone for certain questions, answers. And so, so that's what we focus on. We help customers show up better in Google. And so, that's what we want to do. We help mostly small businesses and focus. Our focus has always been, with the small business, because we understand the importance of small business, especially in times like this, these days, of how important a small business is and the help that they need to be able to compete with some of the larger companies.
Okay. So I've got a little bit of a marketing background too. I used to manage, organizations and marketing efforts, and now I'm on my own, but I'm familiar with what you're talking about. So is what you're doing, are you helping with SEO, search engine optimization, or what are you helping with exactly when businesses are working with you?
So you kind of have to, so there's two different forms of SEO nowadays. So there's the typical old school web SEO, which
Right.
people are more familiar with. This is the, hey, I want my website to show up really good. But nowadays, the problem is most people don't find you through your website first. They find you in local search through your Google My Business page first.
Interesting.
And so, yeah, so nowadays, more companies have made that switch over to local SEO, which helps your Google My Business page show up better in the map and the push pin area. When Google says, hey, here's my local results, start here.
Okay.
That's where you want to be now. So that's our focus, is to show up in the local section.
Okay, and Aaron, I might pull up Google as we're doing the conversation here today, so we can do some demonstrations. So feel free, as we're getting into this conversation, I can pull up Google and you can tell me what to type in and show me what we're talking about. I think the visuals might help out. So why didn't Google choose me? Increasing your local search presence is our topic here for today, guys. And I want to encourage you, as we're getting into this conversation, feel free to drop in your comments. And a little bit later, we'll be having an opportunity to share some of your questions and comments with Aaron, but I'll periodically pop them up on screen. We've got Sylvia from Michigan and a gentleman or a woman joining us from India. I can't see who it is, but so so help us understand this. You know, how is Google determining who pops up in the local search? And let me know when it would be helpful to pull up Google and we can kind of navigate through that.
Yeah, so I'll actually have you do a search here in just a second. So how about, you know, it's the ultimate question, right? People are like, well, why did Google choose this answer and not this one? Well, this one was actually closer, but Google gave me a different restaurant. You know, I've actually been sitting in a restaurant and Googled restaurant near me, and Google gave me answers for 3 surrounding restaurants. Not even the one. So Google isn't just basing their selection on just location alone, which I think a lot of people just think, hey, if I'm going to search for a restaurant and I'm in Troy, Michigan, it's going to give me whoever's closest. Well, that's not necessarily true. Google wants to give the best answer. It's got to give the correct answer, or else its customer experience is bad. They can't have a bad customer experience. So they will select what they feel is the best answer, judging by the information that they pull from what they find online. Okay.
Interesting.
Yes. And so for fun, how about we just do a Google search for, just do office furniture, Troy, Michigan.
And keep in mind, I'm in Fraser, which is in Macomb County. So will that matter?
Since we picked Troy, it shouldn't matter.
Okay. And then do I just click enter, or do you want me to go Google search, or
just go ahead and hit Google search or enter.
Oh, are you there, Aaron?
I'm still here.
Okay.
I don't see that. I was waiting for the Google search to show. It's not a.
Oh, do you want me to click on enter, or should I click Google search, or I'm feeling lucky?
Yes, go ahead and enter or search.
Okay. Okay.
So as you can see right there, the first thing that shows up is your map and push pin area, right?
Yeah.
So this is now the focus of where customers or companies want to start showing up, because this is the first thing that pops up. Anything below that map and push pin area, if you scroll down, you'll see Google, hey, these are my top 3 answers. So Google has searched the internet and said, hey, I've looked at every directory I can find, every website. I've gone through your reviews. They've done all their research, and they said, these are the best 3 options to start with. Now, there's more options than that. There's plenty of other options, but these are their best 3. Anything below that, Google's kind of said, hey, here's some web links. That is more of your typical web SEO that's going to show up down here. Okay. These are some web links where Google says, hey, if you can't find it in the local part, maybe you'll find something that you like down here. You'll see Yelp top 10 lists or Angie's lists and things like that as well in those.
And, I used to remember there was like ads along the top, ads along the bottom. Now it looks like the ads are on the right side, because I can see it says sponsored over here, right?
Yeah, so it has switched a little bit depending on your search and what you're searching. There's still some ads that can show up at the top. Okay. There's still some ads that can actually show up in the search results. Yeah. These shopping ads, and since you're on a computer, will sometimes show up on the right. So it depends on if you're on your phone, if you're on a tablet, all these different devices we have these days. all have sort of different coding and algorithms and ways to search and find things. So
here's an ad that appeared in search results, and it's not even at the top where they used to be at the top. This one's kind of like, I don't know how many results down, but it's kind of tucked under that a little bit. You know, it's interesting.
Yeah, probably not the most ideal spot to be in for an ad, but I believe it's cheaper to be down there than to be at the top. And so, they can maybe afford to get a little bit more reach with their ad budget that way. But so the focus is, hey, we want to show up there in this map and push pin area. We want to be at the top of searches. Why did Google pick these? And how do I get there is what most people will ask me. Well, I know because Google obviously in common sense tells you if you're one of these top 3 answers, you have a better chance of getting selected, right? Because you're there. And then from there, and this is always fun. And I'll ask you, Brenda. Let's look at those top 3 answers. And let me just ask you, as a consumer, if these are the answers that you're given, where do you tend to go from here to start narrowing down?
So you're saying of the options that are in the map, or the ones that are below, or?
Let's look at the top 3 right there. If you needed to start narrowing those options down, you have to start somewhere. You want to start with one.
I would pick the one that has the most ratings and the highest rating. So I look at like Office Express has 68 ratings and it has 5 stars. That's just me.
Well, there you go. You follow along with what the majority of people do. And so that's the focus is, hey, 1, show up at the top, and 2, how do people choose you? And it is based off of reviews. And a large number of people will do exactly what you did and say, hey, this company has way more reviews than everybody else and a really good star rating. Yeah. Why do so many more people love this company than everybody else? I mean, they're standing out, right? Their online reputation stands out above the rest. And so ideally, if you can be showing up very well in searches and your reputation looks better than everybody else, you stand to be chosen by more people. And so, little plug to Office Express. They are a client of ours, so there's a reason that when you do that search, that they show up, and just like you just did, you just chose them on this search because of what we do for them in Google World. So, and they're a great company, awesome people. I highly recommend them.
And it's kind of cool too. You look at their comments, and not every company does this, but the person gave a comment, the company commented back. I mean, I'm like, wow, they're actually monitoring they didn't just like throw this page out on Google and like keep their fingers crossed, but they're actually like replying back, which shows me, I mean, people are talking about their customer service, but I can see it in action here. And this is not a plug for Office Express, guys. I don't know who the page is or anything, but I'm like, looking at this the first time, and I'm like, as a marketer and as a consumer, I really appreciate this. And sometimes you might get even, I'm not seeing any here, but sometimes you might get a negative or like a neutral response, like, oh, we didn't get our order on time, or the desk was broken or something. And the company will say, thanks for letting us know. We'd like to help resolve this issue. Please contact us. And at least it's showing transparency, and it's also showing that they are responding back. And it's not just for the person who's complaining, it's for everybody else, so they can see, how they're responding back. So that's really nice. So I'm going to throw a question in here. I'm kind of curious, and I'm sure there's others curious as well. So let's say I want to get in this map. Now, is Google only choosing 3, and then all these other little red dots represent another business?
Yeah, so if you actually went down right below the 3, there is an option that you have to click on that says more places.
Okay.
And so then this takes you to the first page.
Wow. Okay.
And so there's options in the first page. There's options, and obviously if you move around the map, it'll give you moving different options. But there's multiple pages of results. So obviously you want to be on the first page, and ideally you want to be in the top 3. But yes, you can definitely find more. But if we're following the customer journey and we're following what we know and what Google tells us. Once somebody's making that first decision and they start with those 3, they might not click on that go to more, and they might not go all the way through that first page. Some customers want to shop quickly. They want to make a quick decision, and they say Office Express has 68 with a 5-star. Boom, I'm going to start there.
That's it.
They might not. Other customers do want to do the full research, and they might read every single page of every single website and everybody's reviews. But you need to have all those pieces in place so that when they do and they want to,
Yeah.
you're available no matter what.
Gotcha. So going back to this topic, why? Let's assume there's an office supply company who's on right now who says, "Hey, I'm in Troy. Why didn't Google choose me? How can I get up to the top 3, or how can I, get into that map?" Like, let's say they don't even have a page. How do they create it? And then how do you become one of the top 3? Can you help us out with that?
Yeah. The first step is obviously having a Google My Business page.
Okay.
I mean, you cannot be on the playground if you do not have a page. So that right there is just step 1. So I highly advise everybody, every business to have.
So where do we just go? Google.com/my business, or where do we go to start that?
Actually, I think you were correct. I think that is it. If you just Google My Business page, something will come up that talks about registering for your Google My Business. So
get a profile or Google My
Business. Yep. So you can follow the steps there. It's a pretty easy process to do, and you can fill out your own information and things like that. So that is bare minimum step 1. At least be searchable, but that doesn't mean you're gonna show up in the searches, right? We saw multiple pages of that search. You could be hidden way on page 2, 3, and if you don't do something about it, it just doesn't naturally fix itself.
Okay.
And
so let's say, Aaron, I get to this page. I'm not sure if I have a Google My Business page, and I think I do for Meller Marketing. But let's say I'm not sure if I have one or not. How do I look that up?
If you just Google your own name, it'll pop up.
So if I just Google Meller Marketing?
Yep.
Okay. I hope you guys are appreciating this. I'm kind of like, these are like questions. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I have one, and I think I set it up like years ago, and now I'm not.
There you go.
So Meller Marketing. So
you'll see that over on the right side there, and look at that. You set your territory up very big there, all of North America.
So I must have set it up once upon a time because I was originally targeting, people in the United States only. But how, I obviously can go and edit my business information. I can see I can tell which email I use because the logo is an older version of my logo. You guys, I only have 1 Google review. If you've worked with me, give me a Google review.
Let's get more reviews for you. There we go.
I specialize in LinkedIn, so usually I'm asking for LinkedIn recommendations, and I will admit, Aaron, I tend to neglect Google. Facebook, sometimes I get reviews on there too, but I tend to neglect that. But this is something that can really help your search results. So it's claiming the page, making sure it's. And guys, full disclosure, I wasn't planning on showing my page up here. Now I'm like, oh shoot, I could have reviewed this before I got it. And Aaron's going, wow, North America, that's kind of broad.
Yeah, that is. You might want to focus that down to maybe a little bit more local.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, hey, you got a 5-star review. That's good. Just need more of them. And Google does take into account, and you responded. Good job.
Yeah, I did. And I'm like, was it my husband or my sister-in-law who did that? I'm not even sure. This is probably somebody that I've worked with or trained or something. But it's not somebody that I staged. But I tell people sometimes too, and Aaron, tell me what you think about this. If companies are struggling with visibility, one thing you could do is really easily in your email footer, just create a link that says, hey, are you satisfied with our business? Give us a review on Google, and then put the link there. What do you think about that? Is that okay?
Yeah, and you can even create a very specific email to send out to your clients with the link of your review page right in it, and just saying, hey, I appreciate some feedback. I appreciate you being a customer. And just, asking for it. It doesn't hurt to ask. It does help if you bring in more, obviously, for customers choosing you. Yeah. You want to have more and have more it's online word of mouth, right? Your customers are talking about you and sharing you with the world. So getting more is better, but it also helps your local search presence as well. The more you get in on a consistent basis, Google's taken into account that information coming in and your review. And so it uses it to help you show up better in searches as well. So there's a lot of bonuses to working on your reviews.
That's really good. And I'm actually going to drop this into the LinkedIn live stream. I need to pause the sound so it doesn't drop in here. But for those of you who are watching on LinkedIn Live, I'm going to drop it in there too. But this is really great because I'm doing this not just for myself for my own reviews, but I want to show you guys where we do this process so that you're getting some actionable takeaways. And look at this. I can click on Facebook and I can just like say, please review Meller Marketing on Google. And then I add a little bit of personality every time, Aaron. And then I might say 5-star only, please.
There you go. That's what we say. We want to send them out to all your happy customers, right? Don't send out requests to the ones that are upset.
Well, I mean, there's
not that you have any.
But why would I put out, why would I ask my dissatisfied customers? I'm going to ask my satisfied customers to do that. So I just posted that on Facebook. I don't know if it came into the screen there to show you guys at the same time, but I posted it on Facebook. So really great technique there. Okay.
All right, Aaron, give you a review too.
What's that?
Shauna says she's going to count her in for a review. So at least you've gained one from this experience.
Look at this. So we're going to pop a couple of comments there. Thank you, Shauna. I appreciate it. So, okay. So we've talked about why didn't Google choose me? So Aaron, to summarize what I heard you say is, you have to have a Google page, Google My Business page, and then set it up and make sure it's accurate and complete. And then what I just learned, you guys, is like review your information, everyone. It might change a little bit over time. And then increasing your local search presence. I mean, reviews are going to help.
Reviews help.
Accuracy of that information. What else? What other techniques can we incorporate to help us increase our local search presence?
So the next biggest thing is your online information. And so starting with the Google My Business page, making sure all that information is in there and it's complete. But online, there can be anywhere from 60 to 80 different directories that your information can be in.
Okay.
And so, you've heard of most. Of course, you want to be on Yahoo and Bing and Facebook and all these other, they're all considered directories nowadays. But there's 60 other ones, and most of them you probably never even heard about.
So let me interrupt you there for a second, Aaron, because Yahoo and Bing, like I don't use them. I don't even know if I claimed my Meller marketing page once upon a time years ago. Should I do it? I mean, it's really worth going out and is it worth that effort?
It's worth it because, one, maybe not a ton of people go there. I mean, I think it's, there's like maybe 15% of people are still using Bing or something like, I mean, it's not a huge number.
Okay.
It's all important because Google uses it. And so Google is going to all these different directories to validate and verify your information. And so, and this comes into play with a lot of businesses that have maybe moved locations or even new ones that don't have directories yet. If Google going to all these multiple different directories to try to find you, and one, you're not there, so it can't find your information, or two, it goes there and your information is wrong,
right?
You're giving Google mixed signals. And
so if I go to Yahoo, Aaron, and I just type in Meller Marketing, the same thing, right? And then I do a search. So this is what's coming up. I mean, they're pointing to my website, and they've got this other stuff on the side. Is that okay, or do I have to? Is there like a Yahoo My Business? Like there's a Google?
I think that part on the right is sort of your Yahoo listing.
Okay.
And I believe Yahoo pulls a lot of their information from Facebook, or Yelp.
Okay.
So a lot of people, if you have Facebook or Yelp, and I think actually Bing uses Facebook a lot. They will actually scrape their information and find it wherever they can just to fill out and make sure you have a listing.
Okay.
And so a lot of the directories will take it on themselves to fill out your information if you don't do it. So if it's right or wrong, they don't care. They just want to get you out there.
Okay.
And to make sure they're complete.
I'm seeing on this page, Aaron, it's saying verify my listing. So it looks like they have something on me, and now I need to go in and claim it. So I've got a couple to do. So I've got to go back to my Google My Business. I've got to go to Yahoo, and I've got to go. Is it called binging yourself or?
It is now.
Yeah, I know the word now. I've got to go Bing, search myself.
Bing yourself.
Right. Yep. Okay, so Google, Yahoo, Bing, and then other directories. Are there other places we should go, or just try to get our business out there as much as possible, or what's the goal?
Yeah. Well, the problem is there with all these directories, 60 plus directories that are out there. It would be virtually a full-time job for one person to be sitting around trying to claim all those directories, go in, fill them out. And so it's actually better to be working with someone that has easy access, has the software, the tools to be able to claim and spread all that information in one spot. I might know someone, but so that's the key is anywhere Google can find your information, it needs to be clear, consistent, clean information so that Google doesn't have any questions about who you are and what you do, where you're at, how to connect with you. If you have different phone numbers, different addresses, your directories are incomplete, Google's not going to feel the warm and fuzzies about you. You need to give it clean, clear information. And the more precise and clean and clear information you give it, the better you're going to start showing up.
Love it. Really, really great. These are great tips. I think you guys, we're getting a lot of comments coming in, Aaron. So if it's okay, I think we're going to start to pull some of the comments and questions up on screen.
Yeah, sure.
And move into that part of the interview. So if you haven't already left a comment, leave a comment below because we can't see the people that are watching. You guys, if you like the video or if you make a comment, we can see who you are. And it makes us feel warm and fuzzy. Aaron was talking about Google feeling, we want to feel warm and fuzzy too. I want Aaron to feel like people are watching. So, and I want to see your names too. So we already popped a couple up on here. We've got Lisa Burden joining us from Bloomfield Hills. Hey, Lisa.
Hello, Lisa.
Donna Jean, thank you for providing info from Southeast Michigan. I think this is this is going to be like a playback, shared along video. There's so many great things in here. Pamela Lippett says this will help her clients. So thank you, Pam, for watching. We have Dipti joining us from Seattle.
Yeah,
Jennifer,
wow.
Yeah. Jennifer from Plymouth. Donna, I think that one repeated twice for some reason. Let's see. Lisa, hello again from Livonia, Michigan. And
hello,
how do we get to the top? We talked about that a little bit in there. How do we get to the top of the search results? Thank you. Great point on the importance of reviews and online reputation. Here's a question. What is more important to Google, the ratings or an actual comment?
So Google is going to take into both. So the comments that are the ones that are coming in, if you're getting more in and in a consistent rate, Google's going to look more favorably on you because more people are interacting with you on a consistent basis. So consistency is the key of it all. And so then from there, it's going to take into account how well you show up as far as, are you getting more 5 stars as opposed to 1 stars from there? So I would concentrate on consistency, keeping them coming in over time. And if you're doing the right job, if you're doing, if your offline reputation holds up to your online reputation, you should be getting more 5 stars in over time, which is going to help you in the long run.
Awesome. Let's see what else. I'm jumping around a little bit on here. Everybody's agreeing word of mouth so important. Shauna, hey Shauna, drop the link below for that event that you're talking about so people can check it out too. Feel free to do that. Pam, thank you so much. She said just posted my review. And Pamela, thank you for doing that. Pamela, go into your Google My Business and grab your link and drop it in my live stream too, and encourage people that are watching if they've done business.
There we go. Let's get more.
Let's have a love fest on.
Spread the love today. Let's get some reviews.
Let's give you one too, right, Aaron? We can go onto Rev Local, onto Google My Business and find you and give you a review.
For Rev Local, we are based out of Ohio, so the agency, you could leave one there. It doesn't, I don't know how much that would affect me personally, but it does help the company. So you can't leave one for me personally there. I mean, I'm sure you could.
You can go on your LinkedIn. We can give you a LinkedIn recommendation. And
there you go.
I saw Aaron on LinkedIn Live, and he's amazing, and he made me learn things about Google and Bing and Yahoo, and
There you go.
Okay. All right. We've got Wendy from Metro Detroit. Jennifer says super helpful. My business wasn't even Google My Business. So Jennifer, you can imagine I was like horrified. I'm like, oh no, I'm not even like. So you can appreciate it. Sylvia,
Jennifer is now searchable.
Yeah, there you go. Great. So Sylvia summarizing, get a Google My Business, get customer to review, try the email link. I love that as an option. State your business, review social media sites, highlighted points. Did I miss much? I think she got it. Right, Aaron? Anything?
Yep, she got a lot of it. That's a lot of the stuff that you can do, and just make sure you keep it updated, stay on top of it. From there, it's going to be more about the complete online information of all the other directories and places you can be, but that is a perfect start.
Good summary. Okay, awesome. And then Kathleen asked a similar question that I asked. Does Yahoo have like a My Business? Does Bing have one too?
Yep.
So, okay. So I'm going to go on to, I'm going to pull Bing up right now, you guys. I'm going to do this for Meller Marketing. Are you ready for this? I'm not ready for it. I don't know what's going to happen.
You're jumping without a net here.
Hey, you guys are living with me vicariously through this search here. So I'm going on to Bing. I think it's coming into StreamYard now. Look how beautiful that beach is. So if I go Meller Marketing, that's it. Click search. So it's pulling me up in the top, and then it did create something over here.
It does have something over there. So yeah, you might have something. You probably haven't claimed it and filled it out completely, but
okay. But it's pulling, that's interesting. It's pulling it from LinkedIn and Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
My data.
Yeah, I think Bing uses Facebook a lot to gather its information for its listings.
Very good. Good question, Kathleen. So yes, it looks like we should be looking those up, and Aaron's telling us they're very important to Google. So we'll look
yes, that's the most important part.
All right. Sylvia's saying thank you. Appreciate your information and your help. So really great kind of takeaways here. Now, Aaron, I want to pull up on screen right now the RevLocal website. For those folks that are watching, are there any resources on your website we could learn more about, your services, or do you have any free resources, anything like that? Tell us a little bit about what we can find when we're going to your website.
Yeah, within each of the service columns, if local search is something you want to learn more about, we have videos in there. We help with local search, review marketing. So we talked about getting more reviews. We actually have a platform that helps with that. Paid advertising, which Brenda started to bring up a little bit. That's where, hey, if you really want to target your focus on a very specific search word or key terms, you can be in those paid advertisement sections at the top of searches. And then we also handle social media as well.
And I would imagine companies probably describe a bit about what is review marketing. It's describing, what the services are. So for those of you who might be watching, and if you're a startup, a small business owner, you don't have a marketing background, don't have a digital marketing, I love that you're giving a little bit of an overview here. You're showing some visuals. What are those ads, and a little bit.
Yeah.
So it is kind of descriptive in terms of information. And then, so tell me about your learning area here. It looks like you've got blog, media, client success story. I'm curious about resources. So what's in here?
that actually, I do not know. I'm hoping it's YouTube, because that's what I was going to say. Go to next is follow our YouTube channel. We post videos all the times with updates, tips, tricks that you can do to help yourself, just to keep you updated on the latest trends. Google is changing its mind all the time of what it wants to do. And how it picks people. So we always just try to keep up to date on the most latest and greatest of what's going on in the world. So there's some good tips on there of things that you can do for your business. And just learn more. I think the key to all these resources, from our website to the YouTube channels and even our social media, is just being a resource for education.
I love it.
And learning.
That's really great. I just popped your up on screen. I'm getting a little bit of an audio feedback. I don't know if you're hearing that, because that's my microphone or where that's coming from. Sorry about that, Aaron.
That's all right.
But I pulled up your YouTube channel. Looks like you guys have a lot of great videos and resources on here. Yeah. So I'm going to subscribe, because this is what I've learned to do, and then get a notification bell so I can get your notifications too. And I'll come back and look at those later.
Perfect.
Those resources. So really, really awesome. All right. So I'm going to pop back over to comments. I'm not seeing any additional comments coming in, but if you guys are still watching, if you have any additional questions for Aaron, feel free to pop those in. As we start to wind down our interview here, Aaron, I'm going to give you the opportunity to give us any final suggestions, tips, resources, shout outs, any and all of the above. Feel free to do that now.
Yeah. So I guess what I would say is, we're living right now where I think there's a big shift, right? Everybody's, if you didn't figure out before how digital the world is, you figured it out now. And so I know companies are out there and they're trying to go, well, how do I reach the customers now? Or how do I remarket? Or I got to change my business and the way I do things. And first I would suggest, one, look into all those options. what different products can you do? What services can you do? What ways can you reach people? And start educating yourself on all the different things you can possibly do now, because there are things moving forward that are going to be permanent. You know, people are moving out of their office into their home, and it's going to be a permanent change. So the way you do business is going to be different. So I would say, if you've been scared to take that step of what am I going to do next, or how do I do it, just start educating yourself. Start there. And so I just encourage people to start moving forward out of this COVID situation and start thinking, well, what's next? You know, what's my business going to be when we move out of this, and have a plan in place. And so just start thinking about the future and what you can do for your business, and hopefully we get more people moving forward and thinking, hey, here's some steps I can take. Let me educate myself on everything, and then put a plan in place and start moving.
Love it. Aaron, I know you're on I'm going to pull your URL up on screen here. Are you open to accepting invitations from others that are watching on the session here today?
Yes, please connect. I love it. I love connecting with people. One of my favorite things is, because I used to be a small business owner myself, is actually just talking with small business owners and learning about their business. And so I always welcome the chance to get to know a business and see what's going on in their world. And of course, I have some great tools and tips and tricks and things I can do to get them some information. But as a former small business owner and having been through that, I just love the stories behind the businesses and what they're doing. And I just love to have a chat about that if anybody wants to.
Awesome. Well, check out Aaron's URL at the bottom of the screen there. I would definitely recommend that you guys, when you invite Aaron to connect with you on LinkedIn, mention that you heard him on today's broadcast, so we can kind of get a frame of reference. I always like to personalize the invitation because I think it really helps to get the conversation started. Yep. Get a little bit of dialogue going back and forth. But I did pop his URL up on the screen here so you can kind of see what he looks like when you visit his profile. Definitely check him out there. And then Aaron, I'll probably see you at Troy Chamber event. So what's the next thing you're registered for? I'm going to give a shout out to the folks at the Troy Chamber.
I think the next week leadership group.
Yeah.
On Thursday or so. I think it's next Thursday. Awesome. Those are really cool. Learning new leadership techniques and things like that. I think that kind of stuff is fun.
Cool. So. Yeah, you and I were on I'm not sure if it was a happy hour or if it was a networking. We were all going around and we were giving our introductions. And as a part of, I said, my business is impacted, and part of what I'm doing is shining the spotlight on others. And I said, hey, if anybody from the Troy Chamber, if you're a member of the Troy Chamber, if you want to come on a LinkedIn Live with me, talk about an educational or informational topic. And Aaron reached out and said, hey, I might want to. And we had a conversation. And I'm like, yeah, this would be I'm like selfishly interested in this topic. So yeah. But it was really great. And I have to give a plug for the Troy Chamber and for other chambers of commerces and professional organizations, especially in times like these. These groups can be a resource. They can be just see other people's faces. I say this a lot, Aaron, but like
that's awesome.
On camera where you can see like 30 or 40 people and just that are other people's faces than your family, that you're the ones here, your loved ones are home. Yeah. But then you were in the session, we would like shout out resources. Somebody might say, hey, I'm looking for an office furniture company. And somebody's like, hey, because I'm working from home sitting on my kitchen chair, I need a chair. And somebody's like, hey, I sell chairs. And, somebody else might say, I'm struggling with digital media. And Aaron's like, hey, I can help you, with the local search and other things. So a really great for that. You've been a member of the chamber for a while too, Aaron? I
joined the Troy Chamber in December. So okay. I'm fairly new with the Troy Chamber.
Awesome. Well, check them out, guys. They're
awesome.
Great. Yeah.
They are. It's been awesome.
Aaron, so what's for lunch? You said lunch is afterwards. Are we doing like mac and cheese, grilled cheese, chicken nuggets? You got a little one, so you.
I won't be surprised if chicken nuggets are going to be the way to go. You're right with the little one; it's easy to do. Yeah. I think I have some leftover lasagna from the other night, maybe, but but chicken. Now that you mentioned chicken nuggets, I'm leaning towards that.
That sounds good. I'm gonna go grab myself some lunch too. My daughter's a little bit older, but she's now into the grilled cheese pasta. It's like they're not many levels up from chicken nuggets and pancakes for breakfast and stuff like that too. But it does get easier. Eventually they do cook for themselves, and I'm trying to get my teenage son to cook for us now. Wish me luck on that one.
Yeah, good. Yeah. Anything with cheese seems to be a big hit.
Yeah.
Cheese is, and so yeah, so if I can do a grilled cheese, pizza, just even shredded cheese,
that's all good.
it works for us.
Parenting hack, give them something to dip in, like whether it's ketchup or ranch or something, and they'll eat. Like they're like, oh, this is cool, I can dip and eat it.
That was last night. Broccoli and ketchup was the better choice. Yes.
I'm like, if I give you chocolate sauce and you'll eat your broccoli, I will let you.
Yes. She ate so much broccoli, dipping it in ketchup.
Oh, love it. Well, Aaron, this has been a lot of fun. Thank you so much for taking the time to join me today. I really enjoyed the conversation.
No, thank you. And thank you for having this platform for everybody to come out and have this kind of conversation. It's really awesome of you to have this, and I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Well, it's my pleasure. And I just want to remind everybody, if you're not already, go to the mellermarketing.com website, click on subscribe, and you can join my VIP email list so you can get notified of future LinkedIn Live sessions like today. And in the meantime, if you're watching this in playback, still leave us a comment. I'm going to share the links with Aaron later on. So if you do have a question about local search or coming up in Google, I'll make sure to tag him on the question so he can respond to you. And I'm also going to be putting this video up on YouTube later, and I will encourage you guys to share this video with other people. If there are some helpful tips as you're watching this live or in the playback, please share this video along and tag others in it if they can benefit from. I mean, I learned so many things, Aaron, from you today. I know others are learning as well. So share this video with other people. Being a resource is a great thing on social media. So, really great to see the tips today. All right, Aaron, thanks again, sir. I will see you around Troy Chamber events here soon. And
I'll see you soon.
Yeah, take care, everybody. Stay healthy, stay safe. Have a wonderful weekend. And we will see you online again live next week. Take care.
Bye.